Now, your host, Checkers the Inventor.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Checkers Library TV. We are so happy to have you with us, and we can't wait to get into this brand new episode. We have an art project, and I can't wait to get to that. We also have show and tell. I'm going to be sharing with you something of mine and telling you a story all about it. We are going to be meeting with a brand new special guest. I just can't wait to get to that part. But before I go any further, I have to introduce my good friend, my pal, Snoozer.
Hi, boys and girls. Oh my gosh, I forgot my trunk. How embarrassing. I'll be right back. I am Snoozer. Hey, where did everybody go?
Well, we are starting a brand new month, and that means it is time to wish everyone celebrating a birthday in the month of June a happy birthday.
Happy birthday! Hey, you started without me.
Hey, pal, we're on a tight schedule here.
Ugh, whatever.
All right, well, we're not just celebrating birthdays. There's all sorts of cool stuff happening in this month of June. Now, something I wanted to start off by talking about was this. The very first Superman comic came out in June of 1938. That was 82 years ago. So for 82 years, we have had Superman comics. Of course, it started with just comic books. This was called Action Comics #1, but it soon evolved into so much more. There was a radio show, there was animated short films that played in movie theater screens, there were movie serials, and soon they had movies, and Superman has turned into so much more. There's all sorts of, not just Superman though, there's all sorts of superheroes that you all know a lot about. Snoozer, who's your favorite superhero?
My favorite superhero is Bat Snoozer.
Bat Snoozer?
Yeah, it's like Batman, Snoozer, that's me, mixed together. It's like the greatest superhero of all time.
All right, well, my favorite superhero is Superman, so I thought this was a really cool thing to celebrate. But it's not just about Superman. There's so much awesome stuff happening this month. I don't know if you knew this, but June is also National Audiobook Month. This was really exciting for me. I love listening to audiobooks. Sometimes I'm in a car and I can't hold the book and read it in front of me, so I'll be listening to a book. Now, sometimes you can have your mom and dad read a book to you, but with audiobooks, you can have a book read to you wherever you are, where you're at home, if you're in a car, while you're hiking. There are all sorts of different ways to listen to audiobooks. So happy National Audiobook Appreciation Month.
What else are we celebrating?
Well, on June 6th, we are celebrating the anniversary of the very first drive-in movie theater. And that is awesome. Who's ever been to a drive-in movie theater? You can bring your whole family, you can pack into the car, bring some blankets and pillows, watch a movie right outside on the big screen. And it is a lot of fun. Great way to see a movie. And the cool thing is, even though a lot of movie theaters are closed right now, you can still go to the drive-in theater and bring your whole family with you. So if you have a drive-in theater near you, make sure you head on down and celebrate this awesome anniversary. Drive-in movie theaters.
Really cool. I want to go to the drive-in soon.
Absolutely. Well, we have a great show coming for you today, a brand new Storytime Theater. We have a new guest coming on. Hey, get all your pens, papers, your markers, your rulers, everything you've got, get it together. We're doing an art project later. You're going to have a lot of fun with that. I know Snoozer is. And of course, we have show and tell. I'm going to be showing you something awesome. I can't tell you what it is yet, but we're getting to it shortly. We will check back with you later, and we hope you enjoy our episode of Checkers Library TV. Welcome to Show and Tell. This is the part of the show where we are going to show you something, tell you a story about it and how it works. Now, this is the secret Snoozer house. Inside of it is the thing we're going to be showing you today. So let's open it up and find out what our secret is. Wow! It's the Expander! One of my favorite inventions. I can't wait to show you more about it. This is called the Expander. Now, to expand means to grow or stretch out. If you put something little in the Expander, it's going to grow into something big. And that's why I invented it. I wanted to make something little be able to grow. Now, whenever you create something or invent something new, you always love to show people it. If you've ever built a birdhouse, a shelf in your room, or a toy car, it is always great to share it with other people. So I brought this to show and tell, to show you how it works and what it is. So the first thing a lot of people ask is, what is inside of the Expander? And let me show you. There's actually a couple things to show. What do you see inside there? Nothing for now. So let's take the inside out and see if there's anything in there. What's inside here? Nothing yet. So if we want this to work, we want to take something smaller. Something inside of my little pouch here. How about this? This little stick. We're going to drop the stick in just like that. And if you really want the expander to work, you have to turn it 3 times. So ready? 1, 2, and let's go for 3. 3 times around. And then we're going to turn over here. We're going to reach inside and see if this works. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh, look at this big stick. This thing's growing enormously. Oh my gosh, it barely fits in here. This is unbelievable. Oh, look at that. The big stick comes right out of the expander and it grows into something like this. Unbelievable. Well, let me show you a little bit about what I've done with the expander. I've used it in my shows. There I am on stage performing with the expander. Now this has always been a lot of fun. Some people think it's the best part of my show. And I can use this for all sorts of different objects. I take a little balloon and put it inside and make a giant balloon. I can even take a little snoozer and drop it in and make a big snoozer. Hey, you know what? I wonder what would happen if we tried to make a bigger snoozer. Let me see. All right, well, here's a little tiny baby little snoozer. I'm gonna drop that one in there. And now we're gonna start turning. Here we go. Ready, 1. Let's go for 2. 2. And we're gonna turn it one more time to 3. Let's reach inside. Let's see. Oh my gosh, look at that! It's a big snoozer. So you can do all sorts of fun stuff with my expander, one of my coolest inventions. Well, thank you for joining me with Show and Tell. I really wanted to show this off to you, and I look forward to you guys showing off more stuff in the future. So if you have something you want to show to us, send us either a video clip or a picture to Checkers at checkerslibrarytv.com. And who knows, maybe we'll have a chance to show your Show and Tell item on our show. So don't forget to send those in, and thanks for joining us on this episode of Show and Tell.
Did you know? Trees can live for thousands of years. Some trees can grow up to 328 feet. The trunk of the tree is protected by an outside layer of bark. Planting trees can help prevent erosion. The library has tons of books about trees. Visit the library to learn more.
We are here. This is Let's Get to Know, the part of the show where we go out into the community, meet some people, ask them some questions, and we have a very exciting guest today. We have Dave from Frosty's Ice Cream. Let's get to know Dave. How are you doing, Dave?
Good, good. How are you today?
I am doing fantastic. Now, this is a really beautiful building. If you could just take a look at this. You own an ice cream shop. So could you tell us a little bit, how do you get into this business, and how did you start off with ice cream?
Wow, okay. Well, back when I was a kid, there was a place called Beef and Sirloin, and they used to make you an ice cream cone that'd be about that big. So one day I just decided to quit my job and open up Frosty's, and that was 18 years ago today, and we make that cone that big.
Wow. So you've been in this for a long time then, 18 years?
18 years now.
So what would you say is your favorite thing about owning this ice cream shop?
Oh, I'd have to say the joy of the customers. The joy that the customers, and when you see them get their ice cream, their faces, their smiles, that's got to be the best. The best.
Take a look. If you take a look inside of your shop here, you've got all sorts of hats on the ceiling all around the place. What's with the hats?
All right. Well, one day I had 3 hats at home, and one was a Goofy and a Donald Duck, and I wore one. Next thing you know, I got 5. Next thing you know, I got 10 and 20. Customers would bring them in, and we'd give them a free ice cream. And I think right as of today, I'm at about 165 silly, goofy hats.
165 hats.
Yes, all from customers.
So you just collect these hats, you wear them all the time, and
Yep.
that is so cool.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite hat?
Nah, not really.
You just like them all?
It's a mood thing. You come in, you look up, you look around, and you say, that's the hat today.
Oh, so it's spontaneous. You don't know which one you're going to wear?
No, or I let a customer pick.
All right, well, here is a favorite part of Let's Get to Know. This is called the Rapid Fire Hot Seat Round. We're going to be asking you 7 quick questions as fast as we can, and you have to answer as fast as you can. Do you think you can do it?
I think I'm going to give it my best shot, yes.
All right,
Here we
well,
go.
let's start this off. What is your favorite meal?
Lobster.
Lobster. All right, what do you like better, cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Early to sleep, or do you sleep in?
Don't sleep at all.
All
Barely
right.
ever. If I get an hour's sleep a night, I'm happy.
All right, let's see. Favorite sport?
Oh, boy, I didn't go with hockey.
Hockey. Favorite snack?
Oh, shoot. Let me think then. I don't know. Milk duds are pretty good, man. Kind of like my milk duds.
Milk duds.
Cashews, but I mean, come on. Ice cream? Does it get better than that?
No, it does not. All right, let's see. Pizza or tacos?
Pizza.
And the beach or the mountains?
Oh, beach all the way. Walk the beach for ever miles, the beach.
Last question. What is something about you that people don't know?
Oh, boy. I don't know that one. Stumped on this one. Just something you know. I'm a pretty open book. I'm pretty much out there.
So there's nothing that people don't know about you.
I'm an
Everything
open, honest guy. I'm an open book.
All right. Well,
I don't
that's
know.
fair enough.
The best thing I guess people don't know about me, but they probably do, is that there's no better life than being a grandfather.
Oh, that's wonderful. All right, well, thank you so much, Dave. It was
Thank
great. I
you.
feel like we really know you now. It was
Ready?
awesome. A virtual handshake here. We're keeping our social distance. Well, thank you so much, Dave. It was great to meet with you, and we look
Also,
forward
thank
to
you.
having an ice cream come here at Frosty's. This is fantastic. All right, well, thank you so much. We'll be back next week with another Let's Get to Know.
If you would like to email Checkers and Snoozers, send your emails to checkers@checkerslibrarytv.com. We always look forward to hearing from you.
Hi, Checkers. Hi, boys and girls. The story I'm going to read today is called Grumpy Bird by Jeremy Tankard. When Bird woke up, he was grumpy. Oh, look at those eyes. He looks grumpy. He was too grumpy to eat. He was too grumpy to play. In fact, he was too grumpy to fly. Looks like I'm walking today, said Bird. Bird walked past Sheep. Good morning, Bird, said Sheep. What are you doing? Walking, said Bird. Nice, said Sheep. I'll keep you company. Still looks a little grumpy. Bird walked past Rabbit. Hi there, Bird, said Rabbit. What are you doing? I'm walking, said Bird. It's no fun. I could use some exercise, said Rabbit. I'll walk too. Well, at least he has company. Bird walked past Raccoon. Hey, Bird, said Raccoon. What are you doing? I'm walking, snapped Bird. What does it look like? It looks like fun, said Raccoon. I'm coming too. Bird walked past Beaver. Hello, Bird, said Beaver. What are you doing? Let me give you a hint, said Bird. You do it by placing one foot in front of the other. Walking? Guessed Beaver. I love walking. Bird walked past Fox. Good day, Bird, said Fox. What are you doing? Why does everyone want to know what I'm doing? shouted Bird. "I'm just walking, okay?" "Okay," said Fox. "Let's go." No one seems to be bothered by the fact that he's grumpy. Bird walked. The other animals walked. Bird stopped. The other animals stopped. Bird stood on one leg. The other animals stood on one leg. And look, his eyes don't look so angry anymore, do they? Bird jumped. The other animals jumped. "Hey, this is fun," said Bird. "Come on," said Bird, who had forgotten all about being grumpy. "Let's fly back to my nest for a snack." And they did. Look at all those animals in the tree. Well, that's a nice story. Sometimes you may wake up feeling grumpy or be having a grumpy day, but friends can make all the difference. Well, boys and girls, I'll see you next week on Storytime Theater on Checkers Library TV.
And now, the question of the week. Who is your favorite superhero?
Wait, I know Spider-Man. Wonder Woman! Batman because he has cool gadgets. My favorite superhero is Wonder Woman because she saved the city. Spider-Man-y. My favorite superhero is Captain Marvel because she is a strong girl and she has cosmic powers. Batman! Bat Snoozer, the greatest superhero of all time. Batgirl.
Thanks for joining us for the question of the week.
Hello and welcome to our art project. Today we're going to be showing you how to create and launch your own rocket ship into the air, in your house, outside, wherever you want to. Now you're going to need to start by gathering your materials. We have a pair of scissors here, we have some Scotch tape, we have a pipette. We'll talk about the pipette in just a second. You might want some markers, crayons, colored pencils, and you might need, and I think you're going to need, a straw. So make sure you have a straw lying around. Now, next thing we need is to go on to checkerstheinventor.com to our Fun Zone page. When you go there, you will find this rocket ship cutout. You're going to print it out, you'll have it at home just like this, and then you're going to cut it out with a pair of scissors, and you'll have your very own rocket ship. Look at that. It's got Snoozer on it right in the middle. It's a beautiful rocket ship, and you can even color this in with your colored pencils, your markers, your crayons. Make it look beautiful. And write your name on the back, and then you've got it. Now our next step is to make this thing launch into the air. So how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to need a few materials. We mentioned the straw. I'm going to use this. Got my colors here. We've got our straw. Next thing we're going to need is to turn this rocket ship right on its face, just like this. Then we're going to take the pipette. Now a pipette is something you can usually get at a hobby store, a craft store. Some of the big box stores might have it, or you can always get it online. So ask your parents. We're going to get a pipette. We're going to put the pipette right in the back, just like this, and then with a piece of Scotch tape, rip a piece off, and we're going to tape that right to the back. So we're going to take that and put it right on there. Just push that down. All right, got that there. Now, all we need to do is take the straw and put it together with the pipette. Just like this, and let's see if the launch works. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh, it launches right into the air and you can shoot that thing around wherever you want. Just don't shoot at your brothers or sisters. But you'll have your own launching rocket ship. Now, if you want to learn more about crafts and how to build stuff and how to make stuff just like that, gotta check out the library. There are tons of books about crafts you can find and art projects, different things you can do at the library. So make sure you ask a librarian and they just might have a perfect book for you. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time here on Art Project.
And now it's time for
The joke of the week. Why did the seagull fly into the library? To get some bookworms. Thank you. I'll be here all week.
Welcome to Checkers Loves Books. This is the part of the show where I recommend books that I think you should be reading. We have books for younger readers, and we have books for older readers. And on today's episode, I have a couple of exciting books. The first is this one. It is called The Brave Little Tailor. Now, this was one of my favorite books to read when I was younger. It's sort of a fairy tale, and it's a book probably for the younger readers, but really anyone would enjoy it because it's about this man who's just eating some jam, and there's flies getting in his way and bothering him. So he's swinging at them, and he kills 7 flies in one blow, and he's all proud of himself. So he writes 7 in one blow and he puts it on his back and walks around into the town. But there is a giant who thinks 7 in one blow means the tailor killed 7 men, not 7 flies. Really, he's just a tailor, which is somebody who makes clothes, and he didn't really mean to be any sort of warrior or hero, but all these people think this tailor is this big, impressive person, so he gets challenged by a king, and there's a whole bunch of people who want to know more about his story. And it's a very funny story. A lot of silly things happen. There's a lot of fun in it, and the cool thing about this story is it exists on many different books. It's not just one book. It's a fairy tale that's been passed down for hundreds of years, and that means it's pretty easy for you to find, and there's all sorts of different versions. So one version might have illustrations that look like this, and one version might have illustrations that look like that. There's a lot of different versions of this story, so it's pretty easy to find, but you might have your own favorite version. So this book here was my favorite version. I liked how the illustrations looked, I liked how the story was told, and this is the book that I read most of the time when I was reading about The Brave Little Tailor. But now it's time to talk about a book for some of the older readers. And this is a book I think you could read all by yourself. It's called Dr. Dolittle. Now, unlike The Brave Little Tailor, this isn't just one book, but it's a whole series of books. There were a bunch of Dr. Dolittle books, and they are all about a doctor who can talk to animals. He's a special kind of doctor, and he's learned the language of the animals. That means he can talk to them, and he can hear them when they talk back to him. And because of this, the doctor knows animals all across the world. And the very first book in this series is called The Story of Dr. Dolittle. And most libraries should have this book. It's a great story, and it's kind of an adventure. It has the doctor going out to Africa, meeting some animals that don't even exist, but also having a grand adventure, going on a trip with his animals and meeting new ones. I think you're going to love that one. And if you like the first book, you might get into the whole series. And the other good thing about the Dr. Dolittle books is you don't have to read them in order. There's a whole bunch of different Dr. Dolittle books, and all of them don't really connect too much to the last one, so you could read one book that's in the middle of the series, or you could start at the beginning and work your way through. It's a great series of books. I think you should definitely get into it, and it's a very good story and has a lot of good messages about caring for animals and communication and making sure we're treating others with respect. So, these are 2 awesome books to read, Dr. Dolittle and The Brave Little Tailor. I hope you get a chance to read them, and I will be back next week with two new books to recommend here on Checkers Loves Books.
Would you like the chance to have your very own keepsake of Checkers and Snoozer in your home? Now you can have your own Checkers and Snoozer books or your own Snoozer plush toy. Excellent for birthdays, holiday presents, special achievements, or just to have the fun of Checkers and Snoozer in your family's home. Order yours today at www.checkerstheinventor.com store.
welcome to What's in the Mailbox, where we check messages we get from you guys and we share it back with you. We always love getting messages from you, and if you have a question, if you have something you want to say to us, send us an email to checkers@checkerslibrarytv.com. We always love hearing from you and sharing what we get from you with everyone. So let's check the message for today. Here we go. It says, just wanted to share that my girls have informed me that they're going to play checkers and snoozer, and the couch is going to be the bunk beds. Thank you for inspiring my children. Now they want to go to the Science Museum. They're making up tickets and everything. Wow, well that was a message sent to us. It was about a book that I co-authored with Rachel D'Annunzio, and we were so happy to hear this beautiful message, and it made us really glad that we inspired someone to go to a science museum. Now our book was all about going to a science museum. To inspire someone else made us very glad. Well, we also heard from this family. They were playing with their snoozer stuffed animals. Here's a little picture of that. Wow, look at that game. That looks like a lot of fun. Snoozer's wearing a little hat. All right, well, we are so happy to share that message. Again, if you want to share something with us, checkers@checkerslibrarytv.com. I love getting messages from you. Thank you so much for joining us on What's in the Mailbox, and we look forward to sharing more messages that we get from you.
Hey everyone, it's Dr. Dan here with our healthy tip of the week. Now, this week's healthy tip is all about something that's very important this time of year, and that is using sunscreen. Now, spending time outside in the sun is fantastic, and we should do a lot of it. But too much of a good thing can be a bad thing, and that is the case with sunlight. Now, the sun is very powerful and has something called UV rays or ultraviolet rays that are beams that can move into our skin and cause damage if we get too many of them. Luckily, there's something we can do about that, and you guessed it, it is sunscreen. Now, sunscreen has a special chemical that coats our skin and prevents a lot of those UV rays from getting inside. Now, there's a lot of different types of sunscreen and a lot of different strengths. But the biggest thing to remember is to always put it on before we're going to be spending a significant amount of time out in the sun. Now, how often should we put sunscreen on? Well, for starters, we should put the sunscreen on about 30 minutes before we're going to be spending time outside. And then put it back on about every 2 hours or any time we get wet, such as coming out of the pool or coming out of the lake at the beach.
Excuse me, Dr. Dan.
Oh, hey Snoozer, what's up?
Do I need to wear sunscreen, even if it's cloudy?
Awesome question, Snoozer. I'm really glad you asked that. The answer is absolutely. We always need to put sunscreen on when we're going to be spending time outside, even if it's not sunny, even if it's totally cloudy. In fact, most of the time people get sunburned is when they didn't think about putting it on because it wasn't sunny out. Like we talked about, the sun is super powerful and its UV rays can easily move through the clouds and cause sunburn. So always, if you're going to be spending time outside, put on sunscreen and reapply it every 2 hours.
Very astute answer. Thank you.
All right, Snoozer, I'll catch you later. Now the final question is, how do we protect our eyes when we're out in the sun? Well, that's easy. Always make sure you have a nice pair of sunglasses at all times. That's it for me, everyone. I'm Dr. Dan. This is Checkers Library TV, and I will see you later.
Well, thank you so much for joining us for another brand new episode of Checkers Library TV. Hey, we're going to be back next week with another super exciting episode. Of course, Snoozer's got more jokes. I've got more books to talk about, but there is a lot more coming your way. New surprises. We've got fun and games where we go outside, play some games, show you how to do some cool things. Summer fun, all sorts of stuff like that. We're also going to be checking our email inbox and seeing what cool messages you guys are sending our way, and we might read a couple right out to you on on this show. So hopefully you get a chance to send in your questions. Send them in to checkers@checkerslibrarytv.com. Again, checkers@checkerslibrarytv.com. If you have a message you want to share with me, a joke you want Snoozer to read, anything like that, send them our way. Again, checkers@checkerslibrarytv.com. Thanks so much for joining us. We are going to be back with our new episode next week right here on Checkers Library TV.